चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च श्री अद्वैत गदाधर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। I have a request. Can each of you mute your phones, please? While I understand different things that are happening in people's life, I can hear cooking, pot washing, other things as well. So please mute your phone. You may think that you're already muted, but check again, because I can still hear a lot of background noise. All right, so we're going to continue or start this week. A little refresh. Vishwamitra is leading Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, and they are walking along the banks of the Sarayu river. Banks of the Ganges and Sarayu river, and they're walking. And last week we discussed Vishwamitra waking up Sri Ramachandra, and they're walking. And as they're walking, the day has been spent and they've come. It's early evening time. Someone's phone is unmuted. I can hear myself. It's the most horrendous voice. So they've come. The previous, they had stayed, and the next day, as they're walking, they come across a very, very beautiful ashram. So Sri Ramachandra is curious. Oh, remember we talked about how if you're in Juhu, everyone points out to celebrity homes. So they see the house of a celebrity, very beautiful ashram. So Lord Ramachandra asks, oh, Vishwamitra, whose ashram is this? Who's living here now? So Vishwamitra says, oh, some great sage is living here, but you should know the history of this place and history of this ashram. Actually, this ashram was a place where Lord Shiva used to reside. And he had just been married to Parvati. And there's a whole long story that Sati, after she left her body, Lord Shiva, in a deep mood of separation, was in deep meditation and had decided no more marriage. At that time, the demigods who wanted a strong general, they said that the only person who can give birth to such a son is Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva is sitting deep in meditation. So he has to somehow get married, and so they this whole arrangement is made where Parvati, the daughter of Himavan, the king of Himalayas, she is brought there and she serves Lord Shiva very nicely. And so the story goes along that Lord Shiva agrees to marry her. So after marriage, when Lord Shiva is going and traveling with Parvati, they stay at this ashram. Now, there's a lot of disturbance. Can you please mute your phone? Whoever it is. I can hear a whole bunch of background noises and it's disturbing. Sorry to say it again, but whoever it is. So then they are traveling and they've come to this ashram, but now a child has to be born. For that, Lord Shiva and Parvati have to get together. But Shiva's really not, I guess, I don't want to say doing it, but you get the idea. So they take, the demigods take help of Kandarpa or Kamadeva. His name is Kandarpa. Kandarpa means that by his shooting of arrows of lust at someone's heart, he can remove pride, but then bring about a whole bunch of desire. Kama. So when he shoots an arrow at Lord Shiva, thinking that my arrows are very powerful and Lord Shiva will fall under the influence of lust, Lord Shiva opens his third eye and immediately Kandarpa is burnt to ashes and he loses his entire gross body. And so he is moving about in his subtle body without a gross body. So from that day, Kandarpa's name became Ananga. Ananga means without a body. So in our Gayatri mantra, the last one we recite like the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is the king of bringing about wonderful amorous desires in the heart, like Ananga. So that is Rati Devi's husband. So this ashram is where Lord Shiva used to stay, and Lord Shiva cannot be touched by such lust. So this ashram, then Lord Shiva's disciples and generations of their disciples have been living there. So he said, anyone who lives in this place cannot be touched by any sin. So that is the beauty of this place. And that is why it looks so green, verdant, lush, because it is free of any sin. So that night, they take rest along the banks of that river, Ganga. Next morning, all the sages, they're very eager to see Lord Ramachandra, Lakshmana and Vishwamitra. So they all come there and they offer a boat. And they say, please use this boat to cross to the southern banks of the Ganges. So while they are going on the boat, a beautiful scenery, suddenly in the middle of the river, Lord Ramachandra hears this very loud noise of water gushing and flowing. Usually river is calm, but if there are rocks or some impediments, then you hear the cascading noise. And if the river flows fast, you hear a very loud noise. We were just in Hampi, and the Tungabhadra river flows very sweetly. But there are places, especially near a temple called Kodandarama temple, and one of my favorite places of Yantrodharaka Hanuman temple. The river has cascades, and so it makes this beautiful noise or sound. So while they're on the boat, Ramachandra hears this very loud noise of water rushing very quickly. So he turns to Vishwamitra and says, what is this noise? Why is this noise coming? So then Vishwamitra explains that actually the noise that you're hearing is the river Sarayu is meeting the river Ganga. So when these two rivers are meeting, Sarayu is flowing very fast. And so he said, let me narrate to you the story of Sarayu. He says, this Sarayu river encircles Ayodhya. It passes actually right through Ayodhya, not encircles. This passes through Ayodhya. And this river actually has its origin in Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva resides. Where Lord Shiva and Parvati reside, on Mount Kailash, Lord Brahma had gone there, and as an offering to Lord Shiva, from his mind, he created a very placid lake. And because it was created from the mind of Lord Brahma, it got the name Manasa Sarovar. Okay? Manasa means from the mind, and Sarovar or Sara means lake. Of course, we say Mansarovar. Manasa Sarovar is different from Mansarovar. Mansarovar means that which comes from anger. But the way we say it, we cut the words out. It is Manasa Sarovar. And that Manasa Sarovar, from there it trickles down and becomes Sarayu river. Because it has come from Sara, which means a lake, it has the name Sarayu. So very, very auspicious river that flows right through Ayodhya, and it guards and protects Ayodhya. And that river is now happily meeting Ganga Devi. So the two princes, Ram and Lakshmana, they offer their obeisances and respect to this meeting of Ganga and Sarayu. So then they get off the boat on the southern side, and then they get down. Suddenly they see this massive forest. It is very unique. It is big forest, but unique because it is very dark. And there are a lot of vultures flying about here and there. Generally, when vultures are there, it's considered inauspicious. And there are so many tigers there, which is also a little uncharacteristic. There are tigers and lions, but not so many of them all in one place. And the whole forest, instead of giving a very pleasing and attractive feeling, it gives a feeling of a little awe and fear. So Ramachandra says, all we have been seeing is very beautiful ashrams and forests. Suddenly this one, please tell me, what is this forest? So Vishwamitra says, actually, many generations ago, this area was made of two major areas called Malada and Karusha. And they got these names, Malada and Karusha, because in history, Indra had a fight with Vritrasura. Okay. But Vritra actually was the son born to a Brahmana and was very, very knowledgeable himself. So in 6th canto, we hear the whole conversation between Indra and Vritra, right? Where although Indra is the demigod, Vritra has greater realizations about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Indra seems like one who's only worried about a kingdom. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, although this is a demigod fighting with a demon, but when you look at the realizations, this is the demigod and Indra is the demon. It feels like that. So, but Vritra had to be killed. So when Indra killed Vritra, his whole body was filled with sin. And two of the symptoms of that sin was that although a demigod, he had very human-like characteristics. One, hunger. Demigods generally don't feel pangs of hunger like we are. Oh, lunchtime. Oh, I haven't eaten all day. I have been fasting all day, right? When we have to fast for Lord Narasimha's appearance day or Krishna's appearance day, when midnight is closing by, although there is fantastic darshan and arati and abhishek, everyone's attention is what is fast breaking time. And quickly we will run and take a little Charanamrita and say, now I can do the rest of the 2-3 hours that I have been fasting all along, right? So we have this urge of hunger. Actually, any human being or any cursed being, which means on the planet Earth, humans, animals, all the same, that curse manifests as sleep, hunger, thirst, ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna, etc., etc. Right? This is an indication of curse. So, Karusha means free of hunger. So when Indra was suddenly feeling this pangs of hunger, and when you have pangs of hunger and you eat, after digestion, exit, it has to come out. That's called mala, right? Stool is called mala. So when we call someone, oh, this is mala, or we have the name amala, right? Amala means free of any contamination. Stool is contaminating. So Indra had these human-like urges of hunger and passing stool, which is very below demigod level. So then Indra had to atone for this killing of Brahmanas, called Brahmahatya. So he came to this area, and all the sages, they performed Abhishek for Indra. And all of his sin was removed from his body and it went into the earth. And because this place took away from him all of that sin, Indra became so pleased with this place that he blessed that in this place, nobody will feel hunger or any urges. Even if they eat, they will not have such bodily urges of defecating. So he gave the name of these two places as Malada and Karusha. Karusha means free of hunger and free of the urge for excretion. So then this was very heavenly like. People had so much to eat, so much to enjoy without, oh, sorry, I ate too much. I have to go multiple times, right? There's the famous Prabhupada quote, if you go one time, you're yogi, because it's a natural body occurrence. If you do it 2 times, bhogi. If you do it more than 2 times, you're a rogi. So Vishwamitra narrated, they said this, the sages, when Indra blessed this place, the sages became very happy and they said, oh, sadhu, sadhu, very nice, very nice. So for many, many, many years, this place was full of joyful fruits, places of recreation, etc., etc. Then over time, a Yaksha lady by the name Tataka, she took over this whole place. She was the wife of Sunda. There are twin brothers, Sunda and Upasunda. In our family, when 2 people don't do any work, they're called, you're no better than Sunda and Upasunda. Sunda Upasunda is called. Sunda and Upasunda. So especially, when we were younger and let's say my friend and I would roam around and do nothing, then we were to be useful. Otherwise, you're nothing better than Sunda and Upasunda, like that. So what Tataka did is, along with Sunda, started harassing all the people there and took over that place. So Vishwamitra is narrating the story of Tataka. So he says, actually what happened is, there was a Yaksha by the name Suketu. No, Yakshas are not Rakshasas. Okay, Yakshas are all followers of Kubera. They are very yogically powerful and they have lots of mystic powers, but they're not Rakshasas. So this Yaksha called Suketu, he performed a lot of penances and he pleased Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma appeared to him and said, I'm very happy. I bless you with a daughter. Her name will be Tataka. And I also bless her with the strength of 1,000 elephants. And I also bless her with a very, very beautiful and pleasing form. So Tataka is very pleasing and beautiful. And Brahma said, or Brahma thought, I'm not going to give him a son. Because if I give him a son, then that son will misuse his powers. So better to give it as a daughter. So Suketu was very happy with his daughter, and he found Sunda as a suitable match to Tataka. So they were married, and in due course of time, Tataka gave birth to Maricha. Now, Sunda, unfortunately, had a issue with sage Agastya. He went to sage Agastya's ashram and very angrily attacked Agastya. So Agastya finished Sunda. So when Sunda was killed, then Maricha and his mother, Tataka, became very angry. And they rushed at sage Agastya. So Agastya, fearless Agastya, who already killed the two other brothers, remember? Vatapi and Ilvala. You know the story of Vatapi and Ilvala? Oh, very, very famous brothers. So Vatapi and Ilvala, they were crazy brothers who liked to eat the flesh of Brahmins. So what they would do is Ilvala, by his mystic power, would cut Vatapi into pieces and cook him and offer to the Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas would eat, and they would tell them, oh, this is the meat of a goat from a sacrifice. At that time, they were allowed. Now, don't ask me why Brahmanas ate goat meat and all that. Because the goat was offered in sacrifice. It was allowed. So they would feed Vatapi to the Brahmanas, and when Vatapi would go inside, Ilvila would say, Vatapi, come out. And Vatapi would tear open the Brahmana's stomach, and then they would happily feast on these Brahmins. That was their little fun. So they ate many Brahmanas like that. One day, their karma was bad, and they met Agastya. So they cooked nicely. Ilvila cooked nicely and offered to sage Agastya. And Agastya knew what was going on. So as soon as he ate Vatapi, before Ilvila could say, Vatapi, come out, sage Agastya said, Vatapi, completely you should digest. Vatapi, you should digest. Vatapi, Jiranam, he said. So when Ilvila said, Vatapi, come out, Agastya said, he will come out tomorrow. Done, no more. He's not coming out. And then he cursed Ilvila, and that was it. Both of them finished. So you don't mess with Agastya Muni. Agastya Muni is short, but very powerful. Even Himavan, Vindhya mountains, they were growing and growing. And Vindhya had this desire to grow more than the Himalayas. And he grew so much that he blocked the sun completely. So the southern side of Bharatavarsha did not get sunlight. So all the demigods said, what to do? How are we going to curb this Vindhya mountain? They said, well, let's go to sage Agastya. He always can take care of this. So Vindhya was a great student of or respect for Agastya. So when the demigod said, you please do something, Agastya said, no problem. He walked to where Vindhya was. Vindhya mountain saw Agastya. Said, oh sage. And he bent down to offer obeisances. So Agastya Muni said, very good, stay like that only. So Vindhya, when he bowed down, became half in size. And till date, Vindhya is like that only. So that the whole southern part of Bharatavarsha can continue to get sunlight and will not compete with the Himalayas. So Agastya is a powerful person. So when Tataka and Maricha, they rushed to kill Agastya Rishi, he cursed them. He said, oh Tataka, I curse you to from a Yakshini, you will become a Rakshasi. And all your beauty gone. You will have this gigantic, hideous body with a cavernous mouth and eyes like copper, and you'll only be roaming here and there. You will not be able to do anything to me. Then Maricha said, how dare you curse my mother? And he charged at Agastya. Fool, no? You should have kept quiet. But he's also charged at Agastya Rishi. Agastya also cursed him. You will also be one foolish Rakshasa. That's how from Yakshas they became Rakshasas. And from that time, Tataka lost all her beauty. She still had the strength of 1,000 elephants. And she is staying in this ashram, this forest, and completely tormented all the sages. So this great places called Malada and Karusha lost all their beauty. All the fruits went away, and all these massive trees started growing, and the whole forest became dark, and vultures and other powerful predators started living there. And so Vishwamitra tells Ramachandra, you are representing Dasharatha. That's why I brought you here. So your duty is to kill Tataka. So then as soon as he said you have to kill Tataka, Lord Ramachandra said, oh, this is a woman. How can I kill a woman? It's not proper. Because according to Dharma, 5 entities should not be harmed or killed. Brahmanas, cows, women, children, and the elderly. So when Vishwamitra saw that Lord Ramachandra was hesitating, Vishwamitra says to him, there is history, there is precedence here. And the precedence is, and he said he gives 2 or 3 examples. He says, you as a young man are thinking that because this is a woman, you should not kill. Which is true, you should not kill a woman. You should not harm a woman also. However, this woman is a Rakshasi. And she is destroying and spoiling dharma for all other Brahmanas. Okay, so that's one. Second, when you have to properly implement dharma, you should not be concerned about gender here. Because if it was a male Rakshasa, you would not even think about it. You would think dharma is greater. So for all of us, let's say parallelly, karmic laws are there, right? The karmic laws apply to everyone, man or woman. So suppose you're cooking or you're on the phone and it is not muted, then it causes disturbance to everybody, man or woman. So kindly turn off your phone, or not off your phone. Why put your phone on mute while you're organizing your house? We can hear furniture move and all that. So suppose you're working with fire, right? And you're careless. Will fire say, this is the hand of a man, so I should burn, but it's the hand of a woman, so maybe I should become cold and not burn? No, it doesn't consider gender at all, right? When a woman commits a sin, the reaction is as much as a man commits a sin, right? So in that sense, dharma or karma is neutral about gender. So he says, you are a representative of dharma. So you need to think neutral here. You should not think, oh, this is a woman. Anyway, if you're still concerned, there is a precedent set here. Before you, there were many instances where female or women demons had to be killed. So he gives it.
Just ask her when she's when can we come.
I am falling at the feet of all you wonderful persons that I'm very grateful every Saturday you join. But please mute your phones. I think you've muted me out, so you can't hear me. So please mute your phones, because I can hear so much on the background. Please. It's disturbing. So he gives precedence that Indra killed Virochana's daughter. Her name was Manthara. Not the same Manthara that is in Ramayana. Who's Virochana? Prahlad Maharaja's son. Right? His name was Virochana. Virochana had a son and daughter. Her name was Manthara and the son's name was Bali Maharaj. So this Manthara became suddenly, I don't know what went into her, that she wanted the entire earth to be destroyed. Now, this is a place called Karma Bhumi. And this is protected because here is everyone has to come, perform their karma and become elevated. So it's very special. Indra has to protect. That's why he's there. So Indra killed Manthara. Then Vishwamitra gives another precedent. Oh, by the way, Lord Vishnu also killed Bhrigu Muni's wife, who was Shukracharya's mother. And because Vishnu killed Shukracharya's mother, Shukracharya went and became the priest of the demons. His thing was, these demigods are all protected and supported by Vishnu. The sons of Diti or not, I will become their priest. This is why Shukracharya is on that side. And when Vishnu comes to Bali Maharaj's, as Vamana Devi comes, he tells him, don't give in charity. Don't give. There's a old enmity, the little scores that they needed to settle between themselves. But why did Shukracharya's wife have to be, Bhrigu Muni's wife had to be killed? Because Bhrigu Muni's wife, she wanted Indra to be dead. She didn't want earthly realm to be governed by Indra, which is not okay. Because we hear from Bhagavatam, right? Indrari vyakulam lokam mridhayanti yuge yuge. That whenever Indra and Indra's governance is disturbed, the Lord has to appear and set things right. So he said, even then, Bhrigu Muni's wife was killed. Then there is a Vishnu Purana reference for us. It says, Yasmin atra nidhanam prapti Dushtakarini. Dushtakarini means a woman who performs a unmeritorious act or a sin. He says, Yatra Nidhanam, one who kills her. He says, Bahunam bhavati kshemaha tasya punya parado vadaha. To protect one, thinking that she's a woman, if you put a lot of other people in distress, or conversely, to relieve a lot of persons, Brahmanas and others, from distress, if you have to kill one woman, you have no sin occurring to you. Especially if the woman is Dushtaka, or not especially, only when the woman is Dushtakarini. That is Vishnu Purana. So then Lord Ramachandra says, all right. And there's a famous verse in Ramayana. He says, Pitru Vachana Nirdeshat, Pitru Vachana Gauravat, Vachanam Kaushikasyeti, Kartavyam Avishankayaha. He says, Pitru Vachana Nirdeshat. My father had told me, I'm handing you over to Vishwamitra. Whatever he says, you follow. Okay, that is his instruction. Now I have to honor his words. So, Pitru Vachana Gauravat. He says, Vachanam Kaushikasyeti. Whatever Kaushikas, Vishwamitra, whatever he says, Kartavyam Avishankaya, I will do without doubt. So he's determined. So Ramachandra holds his bow tightly and starts twanging the string of the bow. Generally, great persons, their bow is such that when the string is twanged, that noise, depending upon how powerful the personality is, it can shake and cause lot of sound reverberations across the place. So when Lord Ramachandra twanged his bow, the whole forest heard this noise that suddenly from the forest emerged Tataka. Who's here to disturb me? And she came out angrily. And she saw Vishwamitra, Ram and Lakshmana. And she said, human flesh. And she rushed at them. So Vishwamitra, who by his own power, he could have killed Tataka like that. Actually, it is said that Vishwamitra, we will hear it a couple of times. There is something called Humkara. The great sages have the ability of saying Hum. And by that power, they can kill demons. Just by saying Hum. Vishwamitra could have finished Tataka just by saying Hum. But he was not interested because he's not Kshatriya anymore. He's become Brahma Rishi. And he wanted the glory to go to Lord Ramachandra. There's a hidden meaning behind all this. We will come to that. That's why he goes and brings Ramachandra to come. And when we come to hearing about the bow of Lord Shiva in Mithila, that bow has been given to Janaka and his ancestors for safekeeping because Vishwakarma made two bows. These fantastic bows. One was given to Lord Vishnu and one was given to Lord Shiva. And all the demigods wanted to see a little fight, friendly match between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. So they came together to face off. So Lord Shiva is standing with this bow. It's called Pashupata Shara. And Lord Vishnu is standing with his bow. So before the fight began, Vishnu twanged the bowstring and said, Hum. And the bow that Lord Shiva was holding had a crack in it suddenly, just by Vishnu's humkar. Yes, beta. I can say humkar. So that bow, when it cracked, Lord Shiva said, I'm not fighting. He gave it to Janaka Maharaj, King Nimi. And from generations and generations, it came down from King Nimi to Janaka Maharaj. That is the history. We'll come to that later. Oh, my dear Prabhus. I don't know how to mute everyone.
Prabhu, Ramaraghav Prabhu, Vidya Varshana Amrita Mataji, and Vaishali Mataji. Those are the ones that are coming up.
Beg your pardon, Prabhu. I will quickly use myself.
Somebody's computer or phone is unmuted and it is causing so much distress, I cannot tell you. Usually I'm quite patient about it, but it's reverberating like anything for me today. This is better. Whatever you did, keep it that way. So when Tataka came rushing at Lord Ramachandra, Ramachandra mounted arrows on his bow and very swiftly cut off Tataka's hands. Okay. But Tataka, even with hands gone away, because she is so strong, started rushing towards them as if she's going to eat them up. So Lord Ramachandra looks at Lakshmana and he says, your turn. So Lakshmana also releases swift arrows and cuts off Tataka's ears and nose. Lakshmana likes to cut off ears and nose, so be careful. If Lord Lakshmana is the spiritual master and guru, cuts off nose and ears, so we should be careful. So with Tataka, arms cut off, nose and ears cut off, she becomes so much angry. And she's rushing towards them. Then Vishwamitra looks at Lord Ramachandra and says, enough of your compassion. I told you to kill her. Because what is happening is, although he said Pitruvachana Nirdesha, Pitruvachana Gauravat, whatever my father, I have to do it. Somewhere inside Ramachandra is feeling, how can I kill a woman? So finally Vishwamitra says, no, enough of compassion. Do it. Then Lord Ramachandra shoots an arrow right into the heart of Tataka and kills her. As soon as Tataka is killed, all the demigods from the sky, they're watching this because this is the first time a little boy, 12-year-old Rama Lakshmana, have come, and all the demigods are watching because this is the first time Lord Ram has come out of the forest and showing his valor, right? It's like a arangetram of all the practice now is on stage for a show. So they're all, and as soon as Tataka is killed by this little boy, Lord Ramachandra, they're so happy. And everyone is thrilled. Wow. Today is all wonderful noises and sound. Okay. So then when Tataka is killed, Vishwamitra becomes so pleased that he kisses Ramachandra's forehead because he has done something amazing. And from the sky, Indra tells Vishwamitra, this is the time that you should give him instruction on the other weapons. Remember, last week we were talking about the 100 sons of Krishasva who had 2 wives. Remember? Don't remember. So Krishasva's wives' names were, even I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the 100 weapons were supposed to be given. So then Indra says, please, this is the time we should instruct Ramachandra on these, Rama and Lakshmana on these weapons. So then, as soon as Tataka was killed, Malada and Karusha became bright and so beautiful suddenly because the effect of Tataka went away. And these 2 areas were revived to their original beauty and resplendence. So that night, they slept on the banks of that river. And we're going to stop here because they're going to continue on and they're going to meet other areas and Vishwamitra is going to narrate stories. But then the question, which is now important for us, is why Ramachandra killed. The first one that he has to kill is a woman. Right? Why not a man? Why in the form of a woman? And if you look at Krishna's pastime too, the very first demon that Krishna killed was also Putana, also a woman, right? Although she came as a mother, she wanted to nurse Krishna, so she applied poison to her breasts and came. So she wanted to kill, but wanted to kill as if she's a nurse. So then, why? Right? So there are a couple of explanations. Generally, killing of a woman is condemned. According to Dharmakootam, which is one of the commentaries of great personality, it said that when a Shudra is killed, then whoever has killed the Shudra, they accrue sin. And they are supposed to give in charity an ox and 11 cows. Okay. And the same applies when you kill a woman. In Yuddha Kanda, when Indrajit, fast forwarding, Indrajit brings a fake Sita. And he wants to show Rama Lakshmana that he's killing Sita. So when he's about to think of killing Sita, Hanuman warns Indrajit, hold on boss. The sin you will incur for killing a woman, especially Sita Devi, but any woman, is very, very horrendous. Don't do it. So Indrajit doesn't do it. Then in the Mahaprasthana section of Mahabharata, killing of a woman is also condemned. Actually, along with killing a woman, there are other things. You get the same reaction as if killing a woman. One is if you refuse shelter to anyone. Someone comes to you and says, I want shelter from you, and if you refuse for no good reason, then if you kill a woman, if you deprive a Brahmana of his possessions, if you take away a Brahmana's possessions, or you betray a friend, it's the same deadly sin and the same reaction you get. But Vishwamitra is what he's saying is, you're not killing an ordinary woman, you're killing a wicked woman. Okay, so then these rules don't apply. So then Vishwamitra tells that there are reasons to sustain dharma. So one should not hesitate and one should become gender neutral in this one. But still it doesn't answer why the first demon that is killed by Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana is a woman. Ramachandra and Lord Krishna is woman. Putana and Tataka. So there is one personality called Harishuri who has made commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the Damodar Leela pastimes. And we use that example. In fact, all of us quote that examples, especially the one where the milk was boiling and going into the fire, and the milk was thinking, if Mother Yashoda's breast milk is going to satisfy Krishna, then what is the use of my living? I might as well commit suicide. Right? That's what the milk is thinking. But Mother Yashoda leaves Krishna aside and she runs. So this whole explanation is Harishuri. So Harishuri explains that Tataka and Putana, they represent a particular characteristic that every sadhaka has before they begin sadhana bhakti. That's why they're killed first. Of course, Putana, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also says that Putana represents cheating or false gurus. And Krishna removes this kind of cheating from the path of a sadhaka who's just beginning bhakti. So they don't get cheated. That's true. In another commentary, Tataka is referred to as avidya or ignorance. For bhakti to begin, ignorance should be removed. Right? So with avidya is also another explanation for Tataka. Harishuri particularly says that for a person to begin bhakti, they have to replace their desires for matter with desires for serving the Supreme. And desire is called, in Hindi or Sanskrit, Asha. Asha is the name of a man or a woman? Woman. So Tataka represents this Asha. Okay. That we all enter bhakti with a whole bunch of material desires. Right? Krishna says, Chaturvida bhajante mam. Right? And one is removal of distress, financial crisis, or inquisitiveness. So those first two are nothing but, or first three are nothing but materialistic in one sense, or asha. There is some desire. So removal of Tataka is the removal of such desires. Therefore, the whole bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is resting on the verse Anyabhilashita Shunya. Right? So those desires need to be eliminated, reduced, mitigated. Therefore, the first two are women, Asha. That is his explanation. It's the first step in bhakti. All right. Now you can unmute and ask if there are any questions, you have comments, you have objections, you have other things to add that maybe I did not, then this would be the time. You can unmute yourself. There's a question here and then I'll take questions from the phone or online. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
I was just curious about to know, like when Vishwamitra came to the palace of Dashrath Maharaj, so he composed a song Kausalya Supraja. When it exactly, some says that when he was in sleeping in the forest, next day, like we ended the story. Then next day we saw like Ram Lakshman sleeping. At that time he composed a song. So I want to know when it was composed and like.
So the question was, when was the song or the shloka Kausalya Supraja Rama uttered? Last whole week's class was on that verse. Okay, this is in the forest. After the first evening, when they go to bed, next morning, Vishwamitra is awakening Lord Ramachandra. So we discussed why he says Kausalya. Then we discussed why he says Supraja. Then he calls Rama. Then why he says Purvas, and we went into the whole thing for an hour. So go back to that one. Okay. Anything else here? Any questions or comments on the phone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Ram Raghav Das here. I have got three things actually. Four actually. First, pardon me for the background noise. That's number one. Number two, Prabhu, I have a question. I was really interested to know if there is any commentary. You said that Lakshmana is like a spiritual master, and he kind of cuts the nose and the ears. So is there any significance to that? I would think that cutting off the nose is more like a disrespect, an insult. Yes, exactly. So is there any significance to that? Like hearing is very important for everyone, and hearing is the way to liberation. So is there any indication or any symbolism behind the cutting of naak and kaad? That's the second question.
You want me to answer second question now, or you want to fire your question arrows first?
Yeah, let me do the question arrows first, Prabhu, please. The second thing is, I was thinking that is not, Asha more of a hope? You were mentioning that Asha, I thought that it's more of an Abhilasha. That is what we are looking for, desire. I thought Asha was more of hope, but I could be wrong. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Those two. That's it, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we'll do Asha Devi first.
Thank you.
Asha in Hindi is used for hope. Even if you take the meaning as hope, hope is there because there is a desire fueling that hope. Because without desire, there is no need for hope. I have hope because I have desires that I want to fulfill. So in that sense, even if you say hope, that's fine, but it's understood to be desires that are fueling that hope. Okay, so that's first part. Okay. Oh, now you muted your phone, Ramaraga. All right. Then, as far as the nose and ears being cut off,
yes, Prabhu, thank you very much.
The commentary about nose and ears comes when Lakshmana cuts off Shurpanaka's nose and ears. Okay. And when we get to Shurpanaka, we will hear that Shurpanaka represents a transformation of materialistic intelligence into spiritual intelligence. And the transformation for our contaminated intelligence to become spiritual or spiritualized, the spiritual master has to cut off the ears, meaning take away our association from hearing contaminated conceptions.
Haribol.
Okay. So that is how the cutting of the nose is to subdue the senses. So unless a spiritual master helps the disciple subdue the senses and take away from hearing garbage conceptions to hearing actual instructions, only then the intelligence gets transformed. Now, from a Rakshasa perspective, Rakshasas can know where humans are from smell. They smell human meat. Nice dinner tonight. Okay. So therefore nose is cut off, both for Tataka and us. One point that I missed out is when it was Ramchandra had cut off the hands of Tataka and Lakshmana cut off nose and ears, Vishwamitra, remember, says, enough of compassion. Finish it. Because he wants. Finish it quickly because the sun is about to set. And as soon as the sun sets, this Tataka is going to become stronger because demons become stronger at night. They're called Nishachara. They will become so much stronger that you'll have to put in so much more effort. So kill her now. Don't wait. That's an important consideration. Okay?
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for both.
You're welcome. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. Grace to Srila Prabhupada. Radha has a question.
Why was Indra still the king when even if he got cursed?
Cursed by?
Because he did a bad thing.
Well, you will learn when you're still young. Once you come to adult life, you will understand that the nature of being in this material world is that there is always risk in whatever you do. And this is Krishna's instruction to Arjuna also. You're supposed to kill your family members. That's not a good thing. But you have to protect dharma. So you have to do it. So there is going to be a reaction for it as well. But since I am asking you to do it, you'll be free of those reactions. So everything that we do in this life, on this earthly planet, is filled with dualities. You get one thing and you also get another thing. If you have to win something, you have to lose something. That's why the famous saying, no pain, no gain. So you may gain something, but you have to lose something. And these dualities are constantly there. This is the nature of this material world. So Indra has the responsibility of keeping this karma bhumi alive and available for everybody. So if he has to kill someone, he has to do it. But then there is reaction for it too. So he's still the king. That doesn't remove him from being a king. He's just getting reactions for it. So for example, if we have to do what we have to do to, I guess, serve our families, but we also become very tired. We can get sick from exertion or exhaustion. But that doesn't mean because we're becoming tired, we stop doing what we are supposed to do. Indra's place is very, very important. Okay, Radha?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? We have about a minute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Raj Ocha here.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, how old was Rama, you had mentioned, when he killed Tataka?
12.
12 years old.
Yes.
So Prabhu, he got married around the same time, right?
Well, this is his resume building at this point, we discussed. Because there is no great act in Lord Ramachandra's resume yet. So if he goes to Mithila to marry her, they will ask, no, ladka kya karta hai? And if they say, abhi tak to kuch kiya nahi, then they will say, okay, go back home. So Vishwamitra has to make Ramachandra's resume look very nice. So they will say, Tataka he killed, Subahu he killed, Maricha was kicked away, saved everyone in Siddhashram. Oh, very good, very good. Come and see the bow of Lord Shiva. So when he was married, he was about 12 years old and Sita was 6 years old.
I see. Oh, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Later in the Ramana, Sita Devi gives a whole account of her age and how time passed. So we will add all those numbers up. For now, just go with 12 and 6.
And when does he take Banwas? Oh, sorry, it is outside the context. Of
One was
today's
at the age of 24.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Guru.
No, you are. All right. Any other burning questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Mukundas here. Prabhu, you mentioned about Lakshmana cutting the nose of Shurpanakha.
Oh, 1 second. Who's asking? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Shamakundas.
Oh, you can answer your own question, Cham. Go ahead.
So when Lakshmana cut off the nose of Shurpanakha, you said this represents that the Guru is cutting off the attraction for sense enjoyment in the disciple.
Right.
We do know that the Guru is giving us daily activities or like a regulated lifestyle by which we can curb our sense gratification. How else can we appreciate this in our life, especially like we are here doing something, our spiritual master is there everywhere. How to feel the presence of the spiritual master in helping us curb our sense gratification tendencies?
Now I'm going to say it a little humorously. Our problem is, in general, I'm not talking about you or me or any, in general, our problem is that our nose and ears grow again. So after subduing those senses, then they're also running here and there. So like Ravana has many heads, we have many noses and ears also. Anyway, more seriously, one of the stumbling blocks in a bhakta's life or a bhaktin's life is we don't take account of the everyday successes that are there. And unfortunately, when there are even daily successes in life, we somehow think, I did it. That's a pitfall. That, oh, there was something tempting for my senses and I was able to curb my senses. The moment one thinks like that, one closes the door for how at that moment the descending mercy from the spiritual master actually empowered us. So that's a pitfall, thinking I'm the doer. And it is such a strong malady that it has been there with us. Ahankara, kartaham iti manyate, right? Ahankara vimudhatma. So the practice that one should take on is to very quickly pass on the credit to the mercy. So I heard this many, many years ago, and I'm not sure if I'm successful every time, but it's definitely very powerful and helpful. Is in the beginning, when a person thinks that they're advancing, they think they're advancing because I am practicing bhakti. Then when with a little bit more growth, they understand it's not me, it's the power of bhakti that is pulling me forward. And when they become even more advanced, they realize it's not bhakti, it's not me, it is the Supreme Lord who's represented by Guru, who's actually pulling me with the rope of bhakti. If we are in a dark well and there is a rope that someone drops for us and they pull us out of the well, we don't say thank you to the rope. Although the rope is pulling because of its tensile strength, but unless someone is pulling the rope, you cannot come out. So this recognition and this awareness that our bhakti is actually moving by the empowerment of the spiritual master, only then the senses are curbed properly and permanently. Therefore, the Ramayana is nothing but a work of 24,000 slokas of glorifying Guru. Wherever you find it, it's all glorifying Guru and the association of sadhu. So in one sense, you can say it's a glorification of descending mercy. That is what the Ramayana is, from start to end, especially Balakanda and Sundarakanda also, specifically. So that is necessary for a bhakta. Does that answer your question, Shamakun?
Very touching reply, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, so let's stop here. We will meet next Saturday. Okay, we will meet next Saturday at the same time, and after that, in the month of December, we're not meeting because I have absolutely no time. I'm going to be working Saturday, Sunday at a stretch for about 4 weeks. I won't be able to do Ramayana class. I will not be here. I will at work. Once the Christmas and all that is over, when January comes, we will meet again. Okay? So next Saturday, yes. Sri Ramachandra's grace, yes. And then we'll take a pause. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Ramayana ki jai.